Let's talk Steelers.
Hello up, Steelers Nation. It's Tank and Mike from the Cigars International here in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania. The quarterback's sick, so the lineman's got a block for him this week. So if he sounds a little raspy, that's because he's been calling plays for North Catholic Trojans. Great season, Joey Felitsky. Mike, first, well, we got to tell the fans, look, we film on Tuesdays, show airs Sunday mornings. We had no idea who's stepping under that center today in Chicago to play quarterback. Mike, they Novocaine you if you're hurting, right, for Rodgers?
Yeah, you got time. There's been multiple times throughout your career where if you're banged up, you're injured, you're not practicing, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and they'll reevaluate Saturday. In some cases, if you start to move around decent, they'll game day test you out on Sunday before the pregame warm-ups. And as long as you're staying mentally engaged, especially at the quarterback position, and with a guy like Aaron Rodgers with his knowledge of the thing, I wouldn't be surprised if they were able to fix that up or at least brace it some way.
He's playing. Listen, look, I don't know what's going to happen, but
it's a non-throwing hand.
He's playing. He's old school, and it's his non-throwing hand. Jack Youngblood took duct tape and put a femur back into playing a Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers is playing. I want to talk about the victory over the Kitty Cats of Cincinnati. Mike, a lot of what I call no-name guys stepped up to win a game. You got to have the guys step up, the guys you forget about all the time, like your offensive line. I ain't talking about Broderick Jones, but I want to talk about Zach Frazier. I want to talk about McCormick. I want to talk about big Chris Fontenot over there on the right side of that line, Mike. These guys are some of the best center, right guard, right tackles in the game right now. I love what they're doing. Unbelievable, the speed of both Chris and Zach at their position. I've seen Zach move to the second level immediately and get on linebackers. Chris is playing great on that right side. McCormick is a pleasant surprise. I love the right side of the line. They're opening up the A gap, the B gap. You're seeing those running backs blow through some great holes.
Well, you look at the ebb and flow of the game, and it was just a little bit more style of Pittsburgh Steelers football. The last game got into that little bit of a shootout, ball being thrown all over the field, and that's not really who the Steelers want to be. They want to be that physical brand, get the run game going, pound the rock, and look at Kenneth Gainwell stepped up and had a big game as well.
Yeah, absolutely. More no-names, even though he's not a no-name, and he's becoming, a fan favorite because we love outside line jackers here in Pittsburgh, going back to Greg Lloyd, one of my favorites, Kevin Green, God bless his soul. Nick Herbig is filling in that traditional outside linebacker position that we love in Pittsburgh, going back to Dick LeBeau's Blitzburgh defenses. 6.5 sacks on the year. Interception. He is a tour de force when he's on the field. And when you look at Highsmith with the continued injuries, it's good to have a Nick Herbig there that could get pressure on a quarterback.
And again, he fits right into the Steelers defense, what they want to do. You look historically at the Steelers, always have those outside linebackers, like you said, Greg Lloyd, Kevin Green, all the way back, Joey Porter, Jason Gilden. He broke my foot, for God's sakes. But anyway,
shame on you, Jason, for breaking Mike's foot.
Bud Dupree, he's off now. And it's just constantly reloading at that position. And it's huge. It's a great job of the management and the scouting department to consistently bring in those guys that fit the style of the Pittsburgh Steelers football.
Yeah, and I love the outside linebacker position. It's almost like that organization going back for years. I enjoyed the 90s run when Kevin Green was there and Greg Lloyd. It's almost like the organization says, let's find two outside rushers. So kudos to Nick Herbig. Mike, you've heard me talking for the last 2 seasons. I didn't understand why Matt Canada's a moron and an idiot.
You're going backwards. Why?
Hold on. I always go backwards. Those who do not remember the past are doomed to relive it. You heard me talk about Matt Canada not using him. You heard me last year about Arthur Smith not using him. Finally, somebody down there in the south side figured out that Darnell Washington was a weapon. This is the game I've been waiting for, because I'm telling you, I told you, he could catch the ball. If he's 270, I'm 302. There ain't no way he's 270. I've stood beside the man. He's 310. He moves like, well, I don't know what he exactly meant. Molten lava. Everybody's looking for a nickname. He's a bulldozer to me. If you had a tight end with him when you were playing for the Lions or Eagles, would he have been a go-to tight end?
He's a big boy. You know, obviously he's not going to go stretching the field the way some of these younger, more athletic guys are. However,
he blows the field apart like a bowling ball.
But however, when he does catch those, short range to intermediate footballs, and he gets past those linebackers, and now the secondary has to come up and make a tackle on him. They don't want to. They're shying away, and they're that big, and they're playing a guy that's he's a moving mountain. He's a bulldozer of a man.
He's the Shaq of the NFL. That's what he is. Oh, I like that. I like that analogy. But amazing, it took 2 seasons for the people down on the south side to figure out.
But again, a lot of times it takes some time for some player to mature a little bit, understand.
He had hands coming out of Georgia. You can go to the Georgia tape. He'll catch anything. Look, he was a known commodity. You've heard me complain about it.
It just takes a little time for some guys to develop. I always go look at my Detroit Lions. It looks at Jahmyr Gibbs that first year. It took some time for him to understand on how to read the O-line and allow the run plays to develop. It's the same thing with receivers. I mean, it takes some time to understand the intricacies of the routes, getting on the same page as a quarterback, understanding coverage, understand where you need to hook it up, understanding different type of releases, and how much time you have to get into that. And if you're just going out there thinking you're a stud athlete and you're going to go do that, you're going to end up like George Pickens down in Dallas, who actually had a great game the other night as well. However, you still have to.
They got him on medication or something. They have to.
Hey, a smart move then.
Hey, look, you know who really needed to step up? Now, he's not exactly a no-name. He's been around a couple seasons. James Pierre came into his own against the Cincinnati Kitty Cats. Mike, I love the way he played. Joey Porter decided to leave his hands in his pockets this week. He wasn't too grabby, which I was expecting. But when you look at the guys who stepped up this week, the right side of the offensive line, Nick Herbig, Mount Washington, the bulldozer, James Pierre, Kenneth Gainwell. They all get a big salute. Then you bring in Cal Duggar. The Patriots absolutely have to be, if the Steelers stumble ass backwards into these playoffs and come against the Patriots in round 1, they're going to lament Mike giving up Cal Duggar. This guy's a baller, and you combine him with Ramsey at safety. I love what's going on at safety.
Well, you saw what they did, early in the game. They were doubling. They even talked about, Joe Flacco saying, I'm not used to having 2 receivers doubled. You're doubling T. Higgins, you're doubling Jamar Chase, and now you got the slot receiver kind of getting open on a couple key first downs early for the Bengals, but then they kind of axed that out, and you see Cal Duggar. And obviously, you look at his interception. He's a great player, but, honestly, thank you. You could have intercepted that. It was kind of like, I'm sitting here, Flacco turned, was feeling the pressure,
what was he
out,
looking
at?
To him.
And that happens. You kind of lose, you're looking at the defense. You know where your receivers are supposed to be. You're trying to key on the defense, like, all right, he's here, he's there. But then all of a sudden you lose that one defender. So when he turned it quick and tried to hit that, because you're constantly trying to anticipate those throws, I think he was probably throwing it going, oh no, and started running immediately because that was right to him. That's probably the easiest interception Cal Duggar is going to get, but he takes it back. Big play for the defense, multiple big plays for the defense. Anytime defense is scoring touchdowns, love it as a quarterback.
What's the saying? Flacco, I was seeing ghosts. He was seeing the ghosts of Cal.
Darnell? Yeah, that happens. But Flacco, they got him on that one. Cal Duggar, great pickup. He's been doing great, but that was the easiest interception interception he'll have of his career.
Way to step up, no-namers. That's how you win a football game. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Chicago Bears, Ben Johnson, and a team that has one of the most prolific offenses in the league. I'd love to be in Chicago this week. I'd be elbow to elbow with Jim McMahon in a bar right now, no shoes on, drinking if I was in Chicago.
With your sunglasses.
With my sunglasses. The night before Thanksgiving is normally, Chris, a big drinking day, but we're going the whole day long here at Cigars International in Bridgeville. What's going on what we're calling Drinksgiving?
Well, everybody knows the holidays can be a little stressful, so when you come down...
Not for me, it isn't. What am I going to get stressed out about?
So before you have the big day and have all the family over, come down, relax at Cigars International. We're going to have humidor specials, bar specials all day. We've got entertainment all day long. Joe Lowe will be here from 2 to 4. We've got Gary Smith from 6 to 9. We're going to do buy 5, get 2 singles in the humidor. Fall cocktails. Come down and try our Liberty Pole single barrel that we did in conjunction with the folks down at Liberty Pole in Washington County.
All right, there it is. The day before, not the night before, the whole day before Thanksgiving, and you got to go listen to Uncle Larry. If I got to listen to about his bunions anymore, Chris, I won't be able to take it. So come the day before. You got to deal with your family, and come to Cigars International. Hang out with your cigar family.
Absolutely.
I bet you have more fun at Cigars International on Drinksgiving the day before Thanksgiving than listen to Aunt Elma. So come on down to Cigars International here in Bridgeville, Pennsylvania, the day before Thanksgiving, starting at 2 o'clock. Hang out with your Cigars International family. Have some fun. You don't got to listen to Aunt Edna complain about her bunions, her back pain, her hair. She wears a wig even. Nobody even knows that. Just cut, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
Shut up, I'm talking here. Come to Cigars International for Drinksgiving, and I'm going to go. Bye.